mo me dey the mame so mo
lobbying
they say that we are seeing the
movie give me a clearer understanding of how you
popes are choosing
politics in a woman small politics.
Yeah, Africa ya me ho.
They Africa for forget you. Africa for forget. Tell people that
yeah mo fra cardinals no mo na mo bend.
Mo forget.
Yeah. Cardinals, the crowd, we are white, almost skin, different. Oh, look down. Videos in India, the way I interacted with black cardinals and okay, so appalling.
So, I said today, and anybody else say, I don't mind a buck crank, smoke no more. This is what conclave still.
Yeah, they'll feel like 3 days. I'm sure they'll spend like 3 days.
Hey,
yeah, sure. I was
I find any paper position politics.
I said,
I choose to say, oh,
choose what the name password. Yankopon free roommate kase fia wona maso ube ka kura se nyame ayi mi ayi ni
akai mo bia sama wo kan se ya yensusu nwunu asofo no emu o machi na se ya kwesi uko school we ya na obe pa adwuma won so we school no so ko pa adwuma no nya me adwuma ya am sabanti ya the daily graphic and AD kind truth and accuracy every day. John Dramani Mahama say we say jata na eda hanom no na 120 days said you no share ni bo e kan ye no enra wo sheda ye be ka say obu nkonta atwa no abekeka eniema watimi achieve na Mahama for face 72% 120-day pledge na chese said you share ni bo no ye say neniema no say wo de konse ni animu a wo ha mu chichemu aduosum yenu 72 day an watimi ye diso ai enti eno this one full
because man team John Mahama so kasa 72
daily o maka
because man team so no mu kasa 72
ono an kakwa bia
that is why I'm asking
ebe to me abeka an sana madwen eyeme and Mahama's government shows promise but challenge loom citizenry assesses 120 days in office enti ni nyina kafa ne bo hye na wo hye 120 days no ho nsema ye ka say said we hye bone de eniema ekoso de nanso bibi kakra pempen so ba say o manfo na nkasa assess no said de obaye no se wo kan sa na te ana say sa enye sa na etie enti so yeso wa wunu hu a obesere no ensem na tackling complexities of Galamsey. Government pledges to fund pollutants removal from rivers, farmlands. The Galamsey eho kon ehon sama ye dene no na ban ahebo say ye chemicals ni niam ye dia say sensuo ene ye nsase no bebo ho ka na yetumi assign SCC. MPs demands action on Odo River encroaches. Odo River no woma encroach anase womo form eho no mo efa no MPs no say e wo say yetimi eye bibi fa ho ani manimu ya na yetimi esi ano say dada ko e ba mi papa nti bom fire Kwesi asuso
I see. Okay. So John Mahama 120 day where they are Kwesi on not setting the questions and on not be year no
sir
yes because you say you man is on my 120 day contract
but Kwesi say ni
yeah man is on my 120
or the share
and so say obi aka 120 days ni bo ntini ye hwe
I'm so no share no not setting the questions what just say on not setting the questions
no I'm not watchro no
answer but yes you get a marking scheme edina what just say yes you get a marking scheme what's the question why answer what yes what teach yes you get a marking scheme what just say by and large I think he's done well for the 120 days by and large I think he's done well yeah of course I mean but there are few exceptions but I think by and large he's done quite well. I mean, we share.
The 72 no one say I
mean, I think around 72 to 80% he can get it. He can get it. I mean, 72. Because you see, what was the two questions? And you see, and no, I had the time to go through on social 120 day contracting. Sibia or church radian. Easy to achieve it. Easy.
when it that also be
easy. I will launch this. We will commence this. I will launch this. We will launch here. We're not accepting the questions. I don't know the questions must set it. They're meeting your pass. And I'm passing the camera. It is no big deal.
Pressure in
because you see, my point is, and I think what's it? Muhammad's government shows promise, but
challenges.
So I want to ban. How? Because you see, yeah, what kind of way no? I want to launch no. And you launch the show. You show the real impact on the people. So be someone say, "Sal launch ya launch no." If you saw so papa bang, and I'm going for the baby Ghana for.
No, so you say citizenry assesses 120 days in office.
Not just about because if you look at the thing, I will launch this, we'll commence that, we'll launch this. And last week, and I'm saying I don't want to do the everybody know. We'll launch, NEIP, YA, Black Stars, Mahama case. We'll launch, sir. Just because Mr. launch it. But be some will say, some Mahama case, no. Ebano, then the Baba Yamami. Some national apprenticeship now can once now. How are they going to benefit? Some will come once me. That is what we need to know. It's the launch today. We're passing okay, launching. But I can say the real impact on the ground is what I'm hoping for. It is the same. It's easy to achieve. See your certain questions. Very easy.
And say you say Obianka say very easy to achieve. And or say you Obianka say very easy to achieve.
Because you see one thing that I guaranteed. He carefully, if you guarantee that, he carefully said that Oba amended article 2462. Said that baby sir powers in free president or. Now there may be a parliament as an institution. On you, and also a draft bill. Circle parliament in Yankoi. In the whole I'm still be outside 20% on the side one everybody. COVID-19 live, you know. And that's so because 120 days we read the state document now. And 1 year is still there. 24-hour economy. It is the pivot of Jomama's campaign. The pivot. The part 2024 campaign now. That was the pivot of Mahama's campaign in 2024. I was expecting.
24
said by now.
Economy.
I was expecting by now. Start 24.
I hated the road running.
What catcher is out? When I catcher say, "Oh, yeah, then your consultation." What is that? What is that? So, but by and large, I mean, we'll be fair to him. By and large, when it comes to the rule of law. Exactly. For me, because you see, I go for the time, go for create demonstration. I tell you, I call the injunction for Tuso. In John Mahama's 120 days, yeah, call it a free faculty to create demonstration. The deputy attorney general was part of the demonstration. In fact, no people saw the injunction for Tuso. Let the people demonstrate. It is their right to demonstrate. But I go for the time. Yeah, call demonstration. Now, attorney general cover injunction. The bet you won't trick that, why?
Said you okay, said deputy attorney general was part. Why you have a pass, Mamma?
Oh, but he was part of it. He was part of the demonstration. Oh, Kobe.
Demonstrative.
There is some me and I was demonstration. There was part of the demonstration.
Oh, so no demonstration. No, baby, I was here.
So as to whether he was part of Justice Trimside, the deputy attorney general. Odimubi. For me, for rule of law, I give them 100%. And no, I got it. So by and large, Mahama 120 day can have about 70-80%. I think it's fair enough. I think it's fair.
Although river encroaches a seminal.
And a river.
Although Adane Bola. Yeah, maybe you'll be arguing say. Baby, I walk on the whole year better to Udio. But who your motiana do want to know who you are thinking into your papa standard no what to wouldn't crum it will be my swa and so did that crum mountains out
I near fe.
But as someone to so kita chewing gum kura na de betum. Na de tutu odo yi maybe me Kwesi kan wan
transportation avenue.
Kwesi me no kan wan samo hasenka ya pon adwuma yi a ebi abesan ya ban so time nsun yi na ka wakọ tena ayi boat so na wo de nam enso na ekoba na enso nya ye odo yi a wo na boat ne kura be fa sweet boat ne be fa ne Johnson ne sabe de keke ka ho mo nwene ho na mo nfa bi nka ho ba bi amo na afi bia enso sane fom a ye de odo e de ade pa na ye ya ebe last na be solution to your problem ayewo afi de fi ni nwura na ye tugum na firi ho a encroaches na betena
ai
what do you so to anipa na ebewu because on be ye fi agum ama na yiri na sa be fan krofo o man Ghana well ye hwe de ye ni mo aye ba ye nko ye
nti we na wo kana na me kai na story na ye kan no ka so ho se nkrofo fa ball afiri mu fi a overpass no ma be to ye be
no ma
ye be say dabi enyo he pizza
so ni kana ye na dwen say okoto ball ade we wo be tete ano ba nche ne body enwura nyina
omo so obi timi ko toilet good quality no achechire no dia
eno kra de do so
normal kaso
yamfa daily guide entwaso yadubu ahen Dubu ahen exposes national security operatives okay MPs fingered and he appointed mo what the 30 MPs no so na and akatachie so residents protest forceful mind takeover amanse central honom almost say national security for na so mo person omo be take over e wo honom ko omo fa so ye nipa no so small scale mining na wo ye wo ha enya galaxy omo je afa no nti ahemfo no ani abrepa e wo honom na Mahama failed on 120-day promises. I know your Institute of Economic Research in Public Policy. Yes, a Bank of Ghana for na a funded omo. IELPP for Institute of Public Policy. No. And a Swiss port cocaine suspect get 52 million Ghana cedis bill. And so okay, I always start. Asante Hema praise for birthday boy Otumfo. Nti Asante Mera ye say do atukuru. Any brother no was. Nti na yiri so de gina ne Lady Julia na wo ho no na Asante Hema abompaye ama Otumfo.
Me fi ase. Ai. Oh, mama fa firi your hini birthday no some week na mu ye hyehyra no nyame ema ne nkwatenten ahoden wom. Me de me hu ni bia me programs a meko bia me opportunity akasa wase a wo ho no ohini nyankwada na ye mene na nchi a na oje so mo hu say oye nipa odo nipa
yesi woni ye hyira no ye
nti ohini nyankwada ye hyehya na no pay long live the king and one no na akatachie so issue yi omo share that ball former captain Jabari okay no
okay
yes so no regional security coordinator say wa ma omo a ye adwuma ni nyina betena fie e na omo di nipa begu omo di omo ntu ibat omo tutu atu according to panyi ba ko no eni ni di nkomo a wa Manchester Central ho wo say to sense say iwura mkrom ntimi nko efuom e na wa ko faduane e de abefie nto omo sre president ni kotokohene santehene say omo mremu na ama boys no life aye yi basa e wo ho because eno ani adwuma omo ye ne kakrakra e wo ho na reason a ode agina so ne say omo aba ho abegu site woni so omo aban na aban ne so omo nso nyina nso aban na aba bi na say aban ba ne ye take over kopamu obi free na adwuma mu a de nipa na no ya pam no nkodi den
omo kra so online so ne de ne small scale mining
o say community mining kra ye share da ban share da e be bi e de ma wo mo a omo ye ne kakrakra o kan wo me show say be bia akwa koduri de e bia mpanyefo bete no maka wase ma men emfa edubu ahede ne ntwem kakra bi no anwumre e na news we me se bae na ensam ha nyame anim no kure ni e kwan a ye to abade mamanyofo ne e de oman ni sika hye omo nsa so omo nkoye ne mfa so mre ye because ye ne obo contract to abama me ba me di ABC mo fumudi chedi na ni nyina ye sa e me se parliamentary seats na pie ye no nti sa amemu na ye dey MPP for pa na na no beka ya to abade ama MPP for se mo nkotena se nkohye mra na wo kohye mra aye bibia je oje ho bribe
Say no credit ya.
Eh no credit ya. Why you no one yi dey aba list ya or dey aba. Enti to a what
you can say a bribe and I say you can say a bribe.
Question
but you don't conclude say a bribe. That's the point. That's the point I want to make to you. So don't conclude because see there's not information say a bribe. We know so this kind of my MPs. What we have to do is to ask for further details. Say
what the moment
but it will be it will not be fair.
Okay.
Exactly. It will not be fair for you to conclude say exactly. I say bisa questions.
And that is your work and cry set sa.
Exactly. That's the question.
Drive something there say Kwesi sama men kan bribe. Me dey say
we don't have to conclude on that. Because
MP na wudi no ji akatua.
E ye wadwuma nso wasa die so so koye.
Me ti won ra some be me tiri mu a me kentire wo mo bom mai. E mu ede. Enti na nkrofo bom mai. Ba ne nyina mu na fe na ode abetum. Empanyifo ho betimi ahwehwem. Na sem no ono ya chi na si o se ye ma.
Obi okwa ntonto mo wi ni nti obeke kansem. Bi zo kwa
yo. Enti ani say do rice mu na ode keka ye dia. Feda no onkoso no onkyerem. Dia odi ni ade ne ma na bobo president o si ni ADB ene ni ntrese nipa a obobo mu de bebre kwa enye fe ya nyafo ne kwaje busia ne be yesika se ya na wo yare a obekọ kofa no chese mpani ho wo kwa yese aduro ni ho na so de omo a sika bi akodi omo ho ne so do yare ono be ni access to be foforo mo pa hwe ne ho yare mama nya yesa enwe ye me ya pa
ya mo ya hwefo no na because you see the quick cano when any yard drink I'm trying to pull out the document or this kind of mom or Joyce Bowding and I'm expecting Joyce Bow send down to pay Joyce Bow coming exactly what bonity I can't conclude whether say on the man at the days or the day but say time as I'm the buyer my first comment was that Sasikawi is too much for one person to steal. There's a whole cartel around it. And MZ and that document by has vindicated my position on the matter because I was surprised. Sikasi be free an account of NSB move. Now I buy penny for you now. Nobody saw it. Nobody. So be it's obviously there are people behind it. But me kind of statement not the buyer now. Two things for me. As some attorney general can say. Sikana be go aban
na kan so kwase so kati bi won wan so ni din mu
wona me ba no aban account mu no
Ghana
na wo odi bo ahin wo set up another account which is similar almost a similar name to aban agency account na wo twi say sika no ekogum. My question is number one, what was the rationale behind creating an account a bank account now they sa aban sika no edukogu account and one can have personal account. I have personal account. And no one can have somebody.
Oh, you be maybe good idea. So no,
because if at what point or from the account manager or can you because according to Attorney General or sending out to good accounting. That's what the issue is. And no one can have again. What can you say in this table say? A bank put in front of your investigation won't cut the details of the information into them, but rather you tell your lawyers to write a letter and put it in the public domain. Doesn't make sense for me. Investigation in your letter I will say one time exactly. Exactly. In what one letter, not one letter. Exactly the point. Honestly speaking, it doesn't make sense to me. But of course, I'm not concluding on anything. Maybe going forward now, there'll be more details to this matter. But two things I can say. One, a ban is sent as a kind of a bank account. You put two accounts. That's number one. One can say. Number two, I didn't know your investigation. You write in your letter, say, one more the details of what you do with the money. But rather you tell your lawyers to go and write a letter and can't put it in the public. What kind of sense is this?
Politics in Sikadi Wumpa.
Ghana, you agree on when you must so do.
Sikadi Wumpa, papa. the conclusion obia o tie me ana o no be draw upon hearing sa asem we ne say omo nkomu for so omo ko better for life
obia kwa politician na why
I'll be surprised if you didn't know this.
Kwesi
I'll be surprised
omo fancy kakra
we san for this
eduma mi no me no ya politics mu ye wan ke wo
sa wo bet sa wo former fade a no dey former fan dos
eduma we ya no over 2 decades ya politics mu ye wo man kan ye mi o skapa
I'm looking at that
I'm telling you
go politics
me pacho ene we birthday wa me am e wadamfo Jojo Pokwanponsa.
Oh.
And then George birthday. Oh yeah, MPP communication team member.
Oh, okay.
And also the CEO of Eduse Memorial Farms.
Okay.
Of friend who Queenie. So friend who say Queenie. In the George, Madam Fo. And
the family
a happy birthday to my brother. George the farm. George the farm.
Sir.
Oh, sir.
Oh, sir.
Oh, well, I didn't know.
George, be I.
And this time, Miss Madame for George, Madame for Bade Pape. Also a farmer.
You. Georgina, you could afford George.
I was not for me at the Mame, a Fiana Cop Pape, Kwesi Asieduaa, at the gang to say, to us, so Akua Asieduaa.
Ebusiafo anope yamam good morning bio. Ebra so say de Ghana te say ne ho nkomoba. Ye di ka te ho de akyerem say no president echia Ghana nyina yesan so kasa ewo national television so de kyerem manfo 120 days a edi nkan ewo na mamumu no said de oba okan ne de waba e watumi abeye wabobo nneoma bebre na omanfo ni bi akasa ne nneoma a wokan ye ni bie free SHS ho nkomo ene e-levy we free ho taxes ahodo bi no ma we free ho ene dollar no a ene enya hoden cedi na enya hoden ene dollar no fi so ni nyina mode a wabo ewo abosome beye enan a edi nkan a oba ye no emu no emu nsem go fedanim aboa no yenkonkohwe nkotie bi mra.
Scrapping draconian taxes to alleviate hardship and ease the high cost of doing business. I promise to scrap the e-levy, the COVID levy, the 10% levy on bet winnings, and the emissions levy within my first 90 days in office. These tax expenditure measures were central to our 2025 budget statement. On April 2nd, 2025, I signed several bills into law, including the Electronic Transfer Levy e-levy repeal bill 2025, the emissions levy repeal bill, and the betting tax. We have delivered on 3 of these 4 specific tax repeals as promised. The COVID levy has intricate linkages to the existing IMF program. As a value-added tax, we have agreed with our multilateral partners to include it in our overall VAT rationalization exercise that is scheduled for September this year. We've significantly exceeded our 120-day promises regarding overall tax reform by enacting other critical bills such as the Value-Added Tax Amendment Bill, the Income Tax Amendment Bill, the removal of VAT on motor vehicles, the Public Financial Management Bill, the Growth and Sustainability Levy Act, the Earmarked Funds Capping and Realignment Bill, the Gold Board Bill, the Energy Sector Levy Bill, and the Petroleum Revenue Amendment Bill. This swift legislative action underscores our commitment to providing relief and creating a more favorable economic environment. Reviewing taxes on industrial and agricultural imports. We're committed to reviewing taxes and levies on vehicles and equipment imported for industrial and agricultural purposes within our first intensive consultation was crucial to building a genuine national consensus for sustainable reform in our education sector. The no academic fee policy for all first-year students in public tertiary institutions was a key promise to ease burden on families and expand access to higher education. My government has taken concrete steps to implement this. 452,940,012 Ghana cedis has been allocated for the payment of academic facility user fees for 156,294 first-year students in public tertiary institutions for the 2025 academic year. Get Fund has also been instructed to pay the fees directly to the tertiary institutions, ensuring timely disbursement. The No Fee Stress application portal has been developed and is now live for first-year students to register and authenticate their eligibility for this government funding. Introducing social interventions, free tertiary for persons with disability, and Mahama Cares program. We committed to introducing vital social interventions like the free tertiary education for persons with disability and the Ghana Medical Trust, otherwise a fund otherwise called Mahama Cares. For free tertiary education for persons with disabilities, budget allocation for beneficiary students has been captured in the 2025 budget statement. The Minister for Education has made relevant data available for Get Fund so that it can prepare for the payments for this 2025-2026 academic. Tonight, I'm pleased to report to you that we have fulfilled these promises. From forming a lean government and establishing a robust code of conduct to taking decisive action to scrap burdensome taxes, initiating inquiries into past wrongdoings, launching major job creation programs, tackling illegal mining, reviving our environment, promoting our tourism and export sector, streamlining scholarships, supporting vulnerable populations, and holding our security agencies accountable. The foundation for resetting Ghana and building the Ghana we want together is being laid with speed and determination. These actions are not merely check boxes on a list. They signify a fundamental shift in how government operates, with transparency, accountability, efficiency, and a profound sense of urgency for the well-being of every Ghanaian. Fellow citizens, I take my promises seriously, and my word is my bond. Although we've established a solid foundation in this first 120 days, considerable work remains on the journey to realize the Ghana we all want together. This journey requires the collective effort of all of us, and I'm profoundly grateful for the mandate you have given me and my government to lead this nation. Your trust is our most valued asset, and we'll continue to work tirelessly to deserve that trust. And so I call upon every Ghanaian in every city, town, and village, in every sector of our economy, across every political divide, to join hands with us. Let us continue to work hard together, united by one purpose and a shared vision to overcome the challenges and build a brighter, more prosperous future for our beloved nation. I thank you for receiving me in your home.
Amampani Mahama Edna Oha ene aduonu a wadi ewo akonya so se mampani ne na ye busa Ghana for say amampani ba ye ne niam a oye no ohu ne sei edie na no wo hwe animu se mampani ba ye a watimi aye edie na mampani ntimi nyai ne ye kɔ animu no edie na mampani ensa anye nka ho opani boko de nyamiadum bibia ye boko. Okay, mampani first 120 days wo office no ohu ne sei. Oh, the me say enye bad. Said the be American. Ye to aba pem puntu. Na am so obi adan ni so ade hu e de to ne man nim say e be to aba ma no. Ampa mampanyin Mahama adan ni so ade hu e de kire o man Ghana. Ani ti no ne to aba ne ma no. Na ne sa first 100 days no oye o kan no ma bi say oba obeye sa ade no. Ampa me di mani to form ne de. In fact, why ye bi. I just say share e-levy ne taxes bi ane gugu no ma bi so a in fact ɔde ɔsie den ɛyɛ ɔyɔ den ɛyie fi so ana fi chama ne ebe to aba no me kai say na then MPP government anom was no me say to abama na president even crown free education obo obi twam but ma share 100 days no ontwa mu as was say mu kena ana two ye foreign first exchange no that time ne was so but as you say no say ba na eba form team hu ni say the first 100 in there in fact achievement ni more na me say hwe ni mu say obesa yeden aye mo wasa ka ho say de be ye be bo man Ghana
ye ka ne say ntos bo ayeden bayra bo ayeden aduane bo ayeden aso abaye still eniama kwa na ekosoro dollar yi aba from say koya ko 17 and I say am say na am 13.8 but yente hwe so sisi a me meton ade me kofa eniama sisi a eniama ne bo no peja na peja eti yenim Sebia import duties no na ese ba form e de ania o mampanin fa nani enhwe ho if say ania ma no enko form kwa na guso e kosoro dollar no sebi yati amam ye ndi dollar no be affecting because e mania ma bo kosoro na e ba form but say dollar no so ate na nia ma bo de na no dollar na so te ye no mfa so ba na enya free
ye beto ba na mo se edwadie enhwe dan koso sa e dan say te say
nya bra enya se bia asabi mi gina Ashanti regent in America yento ade eniema boarding nti yesra o mampani so be ma eniema no import duties no abeba form kakra am say no beboa because yento ade
Yangwa akofom emu no nso bebe ejina na ejina yenim say ye bompa ye nso ta na echi a obeye ma na abro so me wogidie nso say papa no obebe adwuma amaye.
Okay, enti a dear pa na obetime don say 120 days of President Mahama no waya aboa.
Oh, 120 days no ene na esi but the oba ya waya aboa me mekrie ya me ton aduane wa he say oba ya free education no we ntwam de tia na tie ena sesi anso oba ya nso enrama dollar ba fom amaye. But ye nipa na ye mpese ebinum ebeka nokre but ye beka nokre dia dollar ba fom
pae no ni okaso obeye ni watimi aye de ogusu a wo ye wo as Ghanaian no hu ne sei
yo ni ma okaso obeye de dos na de ameme hu so aye ebo sha o shefa ministers obeyi hu so obeyi system ministers and they were this and they ma hu say sa abo sha na aye adwuma. Now beside that no me hu ade fufuro bi a omampanin no aye me hu ade fufuro bi a odi abeka Ghana mamu hu empire ebo an se oyo omampanin o 4 years period no there awrade mo ano na ne ma esi na ni so bi a no ntimi nye the minister so appoint o mo no ntimi nye dwuma mo ano
ko hwe ni me se mampanin ba ni manim ya na ntu abom ene o di akuna na nka obeya a o ntimi nye ma.
Oh, me and Casadia or make a promise about universities. It's a first year for Biano, or Macon free. And we say a mem. Remember, we school a may expect to say, Sad and a baby mamma woman. And only idea.
You maboko.
pardon.
Okay. Mampeni 120 days work when you who say.
Oh, media means so ya me who say. Na maybe let me say, or say about one and that's so. It's yes, some ama papa ba. Ba abambone kwaya na aban papa ba ye no me niam ya meton sapone tawro na me nim say omo se sika no wosoro nti sika no aban papa ba ebeba fom but da bia me kwato ade niam no yatum da bia niam no yatum nti sa aban bone kwo na aban papa ba aban bone ne kwa na ye e che aban papa ye na wo ba ya wodi 120 days me 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 susu say enkoye eti niam bi wo hono ma onye ne ye na sika no enkofom na niam na yanso dwadifo no ye ton no ne bo amra fom no bi bebusa watimi atobi obi busa niam na wontimi nto ne bo den
ise ne bibia bako
erade adum pacho na monzo
ye mampani mama di 120 days wakonya so send yesi hu ne modern mo ne mo ka so bo be ye ni mu de he na watimi aye ni wontimi nya de ne pese okwa ni no ye.
Oh, actually why are there 120 days in Mahama. Maybe MPP ni purely MPP, but aside MPP seminar Mahama by 120 days. I think say why are they kakra promise bu o e about be free one is betting tax mincha bet but say betting tax any some COVID tax no be free o and I think that dollar and so no dollar na di adwuma na dollar you see a drop kakra I think they say 13 something say ne hwehwe na fe o man kan ne nyina so ye dollar ye ne kan ne nyina so a galamsey so say o man no de be bia okay because any kuto o man because galamsey say nsuo na nsuo num dollar gyina so a ye kofa no ba e betima dey afa ba beton ama yenso yensa koya no
enti Ghana for bi ene omo kasae no dodo na kire se o mampani mahama baaye no waya ade omo hwe e-levy dollar na ene yaba fom na ebi nso kire se e o se mampani ye kakraka ho ne nyina e o my Ghana ye die Godfred Anim enemy din Oyerepa television.
For President 120 days ho akontabuo ehon komo ekoso enra anajo ewo television stations ahodo so amampani ankasa ene Ghana man kasa ebu ono ane akontabo so me nan pepepe ene enra ya yedi ne to esi akonwa so o man ni mu no ehon komodie bi na omanfo wa santemam enso a kire wadwen wo ho medimu bisia ebra so se wo se me sorry na PSA ladi e the health and lifestyle beto amoso medi de Kwesi do am da mo nyina asema mo ache Memamu asumdwe Christ asumdwe nkamu nyina.
Oyerepa TV. Oyerepa TV. Station.
Yamamu nyinache ya the health and lifestyle bro. Medi edi PSC ladi. Anopeju medi Kojak farmer ena ekra yemu. Kojak farmer ena ekra yemu. Kojak na di procode abedra so utia uya. Uti paiwa Kojak procode ebebwa. Kojak charcoal toothpaste enso ebwa ma osin fita. Kojak regular fluoride toothpaste isisin to kron ketengete ma osin ye den. Eba osin oban free kaka ho. Kojak P sensitive toothpaste any Kojak F sensitive toothpaste enso ebwa ema osefemfemwa efree hono. Ebwa pa for 0531 069945. Toll free number sinimu bia ofra nyu sika 0531 069945 ana 0531 070020 0531 070020 yebeka sa for hypertension ho. Hypertension kum krofo pa if you say complications e die chire no ya na anode anope yebeka sa for hypertension ho ye ne guard dapa any bedin komo health promotion officer Comfort Noche Teaching Hospital, bro. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a pass. So, ansana yebedi hypertension home common statistics. Kuntabuo bia ewo hypertension ho me ho akohia sa no pay ye discuss it.
Okay, me that's a PC. Now before cry say beka hypertension statistics no. You can say hypertension cry na de ade. Hypertension ye eno na ye kan blood pressure no nipa bebre e kan BP no say ka say obi anya high blood pressure e kire say moja na enam entini mu no the pressure bi akoma na e pompe moja na the pressure bi na enam entini mu e de ko na mum embre bi du na say entini mu emusisi ana say problems bi ba ho a e basa na pressure e wo say akoma na de pia moja na fa entini mu because say emu ablock kakra na intimi nko free nti no e basa na pressure na akoma na be pia moja na akono e kosro nti saade no e kosro cha tembia obekwa akosusu bia na say wosro a ene beka say wanya hypertension na statistics kakra won ni say ye fa ya do empanyin fi so a en kan say adult
okay just from 18 years
oh Debbie and sana me can statistics kakra e wo say statistics na ya do empanyin fi so ana say adult na ofa nipa 100 bia na emu 18 to 48 me anya more chances of many hypertension. I'm going to say prevalence rate. Chances say are in basic amounts and microphone between 18% to 48%. Now some microphone in so no about 35% per or more hypertension no or more hypertension pan about 35% per na any so more hypertension. In the infant says in 100 hypertension about 35% per na any say or more hypertension. And a so be 22% and or more on medication. And if you find 35% now, or more hypertension, 35 no, so they almost see what 22% and a medication, nipa bebre or hypertension, nibia or money droso.
But when they are aware, so they are hypertensive.
Say funny 35% na makase or mono say or more hypertension na omumu 22% ena ewe edruso nti omunim but for some reasons no omon edruso.
Oh okay. You have risk factors to DNA obi enya hypertension.
Okay. Nema edi hypertension no eba no nema ekotwetwe hypertension eba no bebre na ne edi nkan unhealthy diet make can say enuane diemu. So say enuane aye di ne say enchine bebre ewom anase srade bebre ewom anase edi processed foods ne enuane bi a yaye dada ebi wo ho a eta ye noa na
do no okonkomu
ebi okonkomu ebi ye ensa ne nasefo ne nyina ye processed food ne bia eno nso timi increase your editane na increase your risk say ebanya your hypertension ena nesa etosu biomi ye lack of physical activity say yen tinitini yapum and say yen the say yen exercise into what to hona say onya exercise on tinitini yapum a eno nso no risk factor obi o ha oyisuka na say ofro trotro be see ya wawura na ejuma mu ebia otenisto no ana say ejuma o yen oteho te say metia konwa mu eno ano no on sorry biom the whole day enye say okwa washroom ana say bibia opebia te say ofro bi kwajo mfa we mame nti nipa na say the lifestyle ni nyina no ase onye ejuma bia ema etene na apom nti ni nyina so risk factor. In fact, ebetimi dey ebetwetwe hypertension na ba say internet na yapoma ena obi a ono so onom cigarette ana say obi a otwen winse ekonimu eno say risk factor ebetimi akotwetwe hypertension aba cigarette no in fact say blood vessels ayi entini na mojane na mu no cigarette no damage vessels no ema hypertension ebetimi aba ena ensan so even cigarette ni nsan de ase yare bebre omokose nti no say obi a onom nsan so onom nsan excessively onom ni bebre no so no ebetimi akotwetwe saa yare bi de aba ena there was some medications bi or ha eno so no ebetimi oda so ebetimi akotwetwe hypertension ibi de aba eno bi or ha even say drugs bi or ha ebia obi a even say o drug added to abuse cocaine na say for na ebetimi akotwetwe yare hypertension no de aba ena ebi so ye stress making problem bi aba wa dwen ho tete onyo bi enka asem nkyere no ase chronic stress na ase o stress ho sa eno so no ebetimi risk factor eno so betimi afa so anya hypertension ne bi ena ebi so ye age ye nyini no na the way ani paduane si ejuma no abra ye nyini no entimi nye ejuma sabi entini nemu enti se ye sutani bi menti no age ne de bibia ni ho ebetimi aye afa ho enti no ye nyini a ye risk say ebetimi anya hypertension ena other one so ye family history memfani say hypertension bia ewo abusuam obi ewo abusuam a wanya hypertension ni bida ana say unua bi o grandfather o like onana bi anya hypertension ni bia o risk say o so betimi anya saa yare bi nti this are nema risk bia in fact etimi e kwhwehwe yare
you have lack of sleep obi onna ye ebetimi ama na nya bi
in fact lack of sleep so e kan ho say onna ye in fact in fact it may affect it may increase your risk of hypertension nipa bebre kra omoba hospital ebe check your blood pressure e kosoro say me kra enra kra mantimi an you enra nya experience bi bra bia na ordinary papa ba hospital nti na omoba e no na eno say o ma me so me check me blood pressure o check ye ase na e wo soro and I say oh I know the chere me say na we ni ya god we ni ya na me say oh e wo soro kakra de ba me nim de e bia bibi ko so ana say wo kwa kwa chere no we mu hye wa na say was and I say oh eno amanna mantimi anna e bia eno ka na me say okay enan so eboa e ma ni paduane timi perform ye nti wantimi anna eno so betimi akotwetwe sa yare
yenti ambusa sanem pempen so obi bam hospital na ni pressure hospital da mutimi ka say on rest
yes nti rest ya rejuvenate body na ema body ni san foforo obu okra na oba ya obedru hospital na na yemu ahye no hu doctor na yemu ahye na say ura hospital na yemu ahye no nti eba sa akra ochechire a onya de accurate ti say bia ya mane kotena nchen kakra na yasa acheke de amano.
Okay, hypertension was signs and symptoms bia na
hypertension make I say diabetes and I say hypertension can say silent killer.
Okay,
hypertension most of the times no about so a unhu nema na dangerous ni say about so a unhu be say wapom den onyare onyehwe unhu say wo hypertension no na nipa bebre kra no before say be hu say mo hypertension no in fact enye hypertension na de omba e bia na bibi ena ato na oba hospital oba be check nti e check ma na hu say o blood pressure ya say e was low na e bia doctors na ma omani akoho na o ma monitor for some time sana etia na ya catch and say bia wo hypertension na ya man na nti America say da bia na say ane no hypertension no edru enimu a didimu ko enimu a obenya signs and symptoms bi ni say ebetimi ama wanya obenya vision problem ase wani unhu ade ye atimi affect any it me affect obey ase obenya blurry vision ena obenya timi anya tipaye your friend baby wakuma bebo pari sometimes wakuma bebo pari obetimi anya chest pain ase obenya pain around side no nti ni nyina signs and symptoms ni bia in fact empese nka ne papa mu anka yen tanchechere yensa nti before say bedu sa stage na bia na didi mu say nipa akwa ne baby organs ne bebre bia na
complication bi no
me pastor say bia na before say bedru ho no bia na organ ne bi atochema before say wani ebe bla bia hu ade ye na bia na affect nerves na e connect weni no ana pastor
okay wotena ho a ebetimi akofa ohaw e dia bana hwe ebia undiagnosed me de obi de hypertension or de cover or de ahurusie san kwan te onam kontoka foroka e de ahurusie de atwantwi wo cover de bia onim hwe complications be ne betimi dia ba
so complications be brave or ha in fact o yare na say we undiagnosed unima ebi wo ha obehwa se obetia wanyare o na stroke like wanyare adebechi na wawu ebia etimi e de heart attack e de ba because say o hypertension wan ko check da unim nti o de okra unim kra say o hypertension nti no behwe e adebechi esi wawu wanyare o ebia na juna okoda na onya heart attack because obi ani obviously nti wanya heart attack ebia na o ebehwe mu kra ebia na o hypertension and a heart attack na aba nti complications ni bi heart attack say o hypertension na say undiagnosed and I say unim kra na say enhihye na edi ato akwamde ama no unni so a obetimi anya heart attack ebetimi ama o kidney ebetimi asay o kidney obetimi anya stroke bebre na ya na hypertension so edi mu akotene ena o kidney so betimi asay obetimi anya animal vision obetimi damage weni ntino boye heart failure and asefo in ebetimi e dey about the complications in the in fact anu ye dey wa he say ukonya kidney issues are ka obebo into complications no in fact anu ye dey
okay ye be county rule ben and also government no aban no e play e dey boa sa yare
so in fact aban asudi bebre I also ye apart from aban no kra no ya pomodin asoyefo so ya hwe pomodin sem so no so yeso ye wo asudi e say ne yete ne say aban emfa ne say on the policy level no aban betimi aboama enuane bia in fact eba oman mu ana say ye e de ba abonten e be hwe say ne enye healthy na in fact anka ye be bande sane man ebi wo hana sugar na ewo mu no dos bebre ebi wo hana nchene na ewo mu no dos bebre nti ne nyina no emoa ya pomoden ebi ti say ebi a cigarette no say no though your policies on cigarette there but at least ne bibi kakra emfa ho nti no ye ne say be boa na health nso no ebi ana no payeti high ye be create awareness e be educating crofo amamu ahu kwan on be fa so a yebe boy ho by free hypertension ho say wo hypertension na kwan be fa so a obetimi atenase anyini acha onya or how bia ntino we rules bia in fact ebetimi play ebetimi aye counseling amankrofo and these are some of the things I
ebetimi aye any remember say your call be our last word in 30 seconds
okay my last word in 30 seconds
yeah
the American say hypertension in fact yanya ka say wo hypertension doctor nya declare say wanya hypertension enya yare bia in fact itu ase maneko na yare bia aba on na eba betena
so unum hypertensive per year why you
oh they be hypertension and dose bebre say unum hypertension no na say uhu say impossible ntimi enye adwuma yi a doctors na so no omutimi sesen edu ni bia na so omutimi de edu ba akumienu bi ka ho se na be ya sa function no so ebe koso ebetimi abo adwuma ewo empamu na hypertension no na America no yentu ase enti no aba edu na edu beto so na ya manage edi amount na ebu ha na waka say me de bibidru na me pese me no bibidru no fine so person no bibidru anyame adom yeah, doctors ni bia ise o ma cocaine university almost be do na o de sa o mo yare minimum hospital agogo atonsu agogo right and friends atonsu Kumasi South omo herbal doctors ni bia in fact and omo de SIR enti say o person use herbal cry nko to kwanchen bibidro bia emfa enko ko baby a nipa ya training omo a metimi aboa
Erase pa so bye ya no watch sister Leticia bye okay God or the other name Banka Noedapa or health promotion officer odini juma e Konfonochi teaching hospital Erase so bye many thanks for coming misumidi e di PSC ladi ya barika ga jamalo lakpena mi akatanta nyi fiji ami wala don te posie zozo te posie mfa te posie pamsinda tonde obrigado Aisa Buarisi merci beaucoup à vous tous mungo de big up still for all militant ya damu nyina mo ase Kwesi Parker Wilson na wadi OBT agenda de anu share eba encantadios adios
Oyerepa TV, Oyerepa TV, the station
Ananume ye mamutin kwa ye mami numa batan fue ye mamu moni yo mami num enam momodini bonti ewiase nyina ayida ba Kwesi ko se ye mfa kai mabada yo ye mfa kai mudo ene mo bre ene se ye mo dwene ye ho se abatan enunti na Oyerepa TV ye de Mother's Day special ebremu yami adomu a 11th May ewo Kumasi Race Course na edano wo Kumasi Race Course ye behwe ya pomudin free free health screening na ye wieso a ya jigani live band etuetua ye bedi agro bi te se ampe dancing chair Owari ye mami no mo bant medjom swami jom any race course ye nana chewa eda wano no wo de aduane akansie ebe hihye so saada na enya asem ketu akra afen so akwanya wo ho se wo pese wo ka asem de bi a kire wo mami wo pese wo cha wo mami ade a wo betimi aba ho eda no ye beyi ne live e wo Oyerepa TV the Born Stars media ye de bra mo Kwesi ada bia no so ye beye e wo race course na enti ye de ebo baako ebeku enu maamienu Mother's Day special any the Born Star Kwesi ada we hia ye e wo race course ewia dumienu pepepe na ye nyi ye ni kai se a chedie bebre ebetwa egu ho aboafo maso yasni bi ne tasty tom tomato paste a mo sade ne spices aka ho ye no wo na ka bo madudumedie ma me batampa awo owo abrepon owo akatachie ma me no me ya mamutin kwa ye hwemanim eda Mother's Day ewo Kumasi Race Course happy Mother's Day ya ma me no onyame enhiramo
Oyerepa TV, Oyerepa TV, the station that makes me feel so high.
officials to instill integrity and accountability from day one. Building on my previous efforts, we have reworked and finalized a significantly improved version of the Code of Conduct for Government Appointees. The comprehensive document launched last Monday addresses new areas including a prohibition on purchasing state property directly or indirectly, regulations regarding hampers, and clear monetary limits for official gifts. I've left my appointees in no doubt that I'll bring down the hammer swiftly and strongly if they breach any of these provisions. We promise to hold a national economic dialogue within the first 90 days to understand the state of our economy and build consensus on the way forward. On March 3rd and 4th, 2025, the government of Ghana convened the National Economic Dialogue at the Accra International Conference Center, bringing together partners including the private sector, civil society organizations, traditional authorities, and academia. The participants presented a comprehensive report with clear recommendations to restore macroeconomic stability and regain confidence in our economy. These included enhancing fiscal and monetary coordination, reviewing the foreign exchange regime, implementing major tax reforms, overhauling the public financial management system, reforming state-owned enterprises, strengthening expenditure controls, establishing a credible medium-term expenditure framework, promoting strict fiscal discipline on the part of government, and aggressively pursuing inclusive growth. The implementation of these recommendations has begun to yield results. The currency is becoming fairly stable, inflation is inching downwards, and we have reduced the excessive borrowing that had become the trademark of past governments.
It was for apologies. I said I'm 120 days of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. It was also I am more than even 100% no can be been able to deliver. And then yes, we had a marking scheme about. Say based on our marking scheme, no. One way to me deliver and so on deliver. On the marking scheme there. As on no set on no questions. No marking and they okay. I mean which am 200 over 100%, then no problem. But although questions are, but there's also no questions in the show movie. Now you say the marking scheme about. It's as you know on Thursdays there. My professor and my doctor are always here. With their own markings, your own markia, and no 70, 80 hana say wo ko e no sa no so wonya bi so a obehu say wonya bi ya nti na no pay there we are going to do a proper evaluation of the performance so far 120 day the first year quarter of John Mahama's administration ekoyi and I say ekoyi what are your verdict on that and then I don't pay you know my guests already seated in the studio we'll look at all the areas of John Mahama can wasem a normal cash or be na ya track it says I don't want to cash or be no utimi ye and also utimi ye I mean what's happening and for me one key question I'm best paying for a boy na eti ase say and I say I mean to help us understand enyoma na waye no enemenim ye is it going to be a solid foundation for one the economic recovery and the Ghana yidiana because yeah they obey you but what will be the impact on the economy what will be the impact on governance what will be the impact on the ordinary Ghanaians you know one key to the never and no na ever say why ye we shot the trajectory no if it's me konenim am on my Ghana afa to be pray and as one intimi we'll get to talk about that this morning it's Anopay as usual on Thursday my crack team and the Anopay Professor Charles Mafo Ochade Kwame University of Science and Technology Provost or the College of Humanities or and Anopay Prof Akwaba Dr. Eric Bimpong political and economic policy analyst or and the Anopay Doc Akwaba Fantastic. Any preliminary comment and say you raise in the morning
Kwesi so there assembly there all to
but that it's your more room my cost lights no so now you share exactly what the president promised so be a year 26 Baku 26 and no share boss say obeya mai it's Mama, you have cost lights no sort of pay, but I have my own here. We a year the document from a year Omankasa campaign. It's we a year interface a year. Now, Okwa or say number 1, nominate within the first 14 days the complete list of cabinet ministers for parliamentary approval. Of course, I mean Parliament also cooperated. No, the 60 ministers in the crown. He's governing with 56 ministers. I can't 4 also the camp. It's maybe you can take this one. Constitute the leanest and most efficient government under the Fourth Republic in my first 90 days in office. No, can I say and no kind. Say we share the Fourth Republic now. He's only president of the 56 ministers. A year Juma. 56 ministers. At a point in time in Akufado's administration, had about 120 ministers. But John Mahama is doing 54 now. You say, we don't know. Again, I say establish a robust code of conduct and standards for all government officials. About 3 days ago, and on launching the code of conduct, to launching the Kama. I say hold a national economic dialogue to discuss the true state of the economy and prepare a homegrown fiscal consolidation program to guide the budget. Now, Hanama also to understand this one, no. And I'm hearing say the national economic dialogue no year no is fed into the budget. Budget now, I'm preparing on the buy no. Sound come no mudi wasi no. And who some of the recommendation our budget in more. That's what some of the no air camp was some. It's a question must say within my first 90 days in office, scrap the following draconian taxes to alleviate hardship and ease the high cost of doing business. Now, the taxes we talk about, e-levy, COVID-19 levy. Now, COVID levy, there, I don't know, I said they are still it's still there. We'll find out why. 10% levy on betting winnings and emission levy. Why, yeah. Now, within my first 90 days in office, review taxes and levies on vehicles and equipment imported into the country for industrial and agricultural purposes. Idea with Macheke, he's not done it. 1 year. Levies on vehicles, so then anybody can check. 1 year, mention also number 6. We can't tick that box for him. 76. Commence drafting needed legal amendments and prepare for implementing the 24-hour economic policy. And I'll pay me say the pivot of the One's campaign in 2024 was 24-hour economy. On the first 120 days in the month. But Dr. Prof. Nembayadwin said, it hasn't commenced. Yeah. Even though you say there are some conversations going on there, conversation going on, it's also commence drafting needed legal amendment. There's some drafting BB, but its implementation there, it was for a young buy. Establish an accelerated export development council to promote export as part of a broader strategy for economic transformation. Again, I say convene a national consultative conference on education to build consensus on needed improvement to the sector. Education, remember, Professor, on that matter. And number 10, I mentioned implement the no academic fee policy for all first-year students in public tertiary institutions, universities, colleges of education, nursing training institution. It's, if you look at this, Mama call first year this year, I was buying child school fees, Mama. More quite budget in a young kind. The bank is a more kind budget in the they will make provision for her on the university. Okay, boy, I'm say whether that has been done or not. Again, I see introduce the following social intervention programs. That's the free tertiary education for persons with disability, the Ghana Medical Care Trust Fund. That's the Mahama case. Nancy and Oye Mahama case. Again, I say commence the distribution of free sanitary pads to female students in primary and secondary schools. So, last week, not launching last week, this week, almost launches, where easy to achieve. 13 say, institute inquiries and or forensic audits into the following matters of public interest: the collapse of the indigenous Ghanaian banks and the financial institutions at a supposed cost of 25 billion, illegal printing of money, the $58 million National Cathedral scandal, illegal and inflated single source contract, COVID-19 expenditure scandal, PDS, Ejapa, SML ambulance paper deal, 13th African Games, Sky Train, Pologu Dam, Matt said, Galamsey fraud, missing excavators, and tricycles, Sputnik V, Boss scandal, and others. We in say investigations are coso. According to John Mahama say investigations are ongoing on this matter. I say institute a government policy banning political appointees from procuring state assets. Code of conduct in the womb, or say allocate seed money for the establishment of the Women's Bank and Women's Bank. Because remember, Doc, you some questions beyond their mommy on this matter. 16 is say launch the following priority job creation programs in the first budget. Ejimera Oye Kumasi, National Party Akoya Tamale, 1 million codes program, Oya Wakra, or launching in the question is what will be the impact? You're launching then I'm imagining a frame. Again, I say commence the review of the Customs Act 2020 to scrap the law banning the importation of salvage vehicles to rescue the local automotive industry. As on magazine, Kokompe, Abosokan, among others. We now may check it. I can't authoritatively say, oh my God, because now may check it. I couldn't find anything on that. I say lay before Parliament a new bill to streamline government scholarship administration, prohibit political appointees from accessing government scholarship, and eliminate political patronage, cronyism, nepotism, and corruption in awarding government scholarships. And also, so meaning that there's a bill on my drafting young core Parliament. They are working on that. Ban illegal and new mining activities in forest reserves. Roll out our Tree for Life and Blue Water initiative to heal and sustainably harness the environment by turning areas and water bodies degraded by illegal mining into economic and ecological recovery hubs. Mokai go from yellow bino. Aha, sa blue guard for no, yellow for no, and all cano. The Black Star Experience, we're launching Black Star Experience, again, 21 say commence investigative processes to peg state security agencies of all militia and vigilante element. Ahana mentiasi, and now Kasana mentiasi. Because say a man for eco police more. The assumption is that they do a quick background check and so on. But John Maham say Kofobi security agencies, they were not supposed to be there. And you were setting up a board, and also was setting up a board. As our board are doing a proper investigative background checks on my recruit, I don't know how far he can get with this on this matter. Now, say, reopen investigation into major unresolved criminal cases, including the 2020 election killings, I also was talking about election violence, murder of Ahmed Hussein Swale and Silas as well. We know, say, investigations or catch IGP that and Akua and Dampire, so on launching investigations into it. So we understand that the process is ongoing. Again, I'll say initiate the probe into the man-made disaster caused by VRA spillage from the Kosombo and Bone dams that displaced and destroyed the livelihoods of thousands of citizens in the Volta, Eastern and Greater Accra region. Or say, and also air costs. So, and initiate immediate steps to compensate the flood victims, including those in the Oti, Bono East and Savannah regions. And then finally, lastly but not the least, carry out a shake-up of all loss-making state-owned enterprises and realign them to break even and transition into profit-making. Into what we are buying you now, the mama saying within the 120 days, but I had a problem, and I come to problem because 120 days is not enough to assess the performance of a state-owned enterprise. Because then, on my we may just the assess you might not get it. You know, wait there. I'm saying minimum where it will fall, what I achieved, or because I think 3 months is quite too short. So also your proper analysis, you have to do, let's say, like a year. Now I assess it on my performance in the year. You know, Prof, these are the things that you want to make. Okay. Or no, I say, why achieve more than 100%. Because if you realize I made kind of not agree name, but about 2 weeks ago, I'm going to launch a Feed Ghana project. I am agric related. I want to go think it's a woman at it's I don't know, Timmy Johnson can say he's done more than what he even promised the people of the country because not Feed Ghana project in count, but among others. So your general impression about Rendra, don't know kind ending in summer working.
Oh, you. I that's it. Now, my father, the person I'm in chair, Oyerepa, a chief and a pay. Paka, Dana, go for sorry, and on Baba Huti. Near Dawma said that over the weekend I was in Takrady. Okay. Called Takrady. One of our ideal centers. Okay. I mean,
Institute of Distance Learning. Why
idea? Institute of Distance Learning. Whom I know also. I said probably a one who via the jokes and I didn't say. Say. Yes, so Ghana, yeah, boy, yeah, contributing to whatever, because people appreciate our perspective of things. In the non fashion, I'm in Chairman Nation. Right. Back to your question. So, around your mama can say 120 days, and then Mao said here, official approach 100. I mean, as I say, will be a coherence. That's a sorry now, on one set questions. No, you know, so in your hand, brother. Oh, no, who power case in it? Maybe say me case in it.
But what I will share, I don't know again. But you are the better judge than him. No, maybe you're not bit my bias. You see, towards the performance. But what about my fair analysis of the performance?
In fact, it is only rational for him to be biased.
Oh, I see.
You see. This is politics within a certain context. We are not talking about the honesty here. Right. We are talking about reality. President Ibeya president. Major the pass and we answer normally we go around. Who was who say, "Hey, near ma, Sabbanas or man who sika, that's what we need to come bit me. And until launching. Doing this, commencing. Look at the terms.
Terms in the air.
In fact, I can only describe the president as a very smart person.
Oh, I see. John is a smart person.
He's smart. Wow. And then the team no draw deal, you know. I think they took into account so that they can finance it. Into I remember when I say program to say and go to the me say. So they can one and can make a sempa and can.
No, but one launch you.
Oh, look at the word. The word is what? Lunch.
Yeah.
That's it. But you know, and go and fix a budget with it.
Okay, I think there's a budget for it.
Maybe 15 million, 500 million this. Because you know, it's part of agriculture. And I believe as a developing country, blueprint across the world, say progressive per year. You should start from agriculture. And poultry farming or livestock or whatever is part of it. And somebody I mean, I can say, tell me, Uncle Phoebe, say, can get nobody joke. No, I can say, I think say a cassette or kind of man, but it was where Sagana is serious. Is one of the major programs as a nation we should consciously pursue.
Invest in that area.
Including what Revoku once said, and also me said they will prepare the farmlands, acres. In other words, irrigation, electricity, they are prepared to say. Yes, you could say, yeah, you're quite any 8 acres. Into the answer amount seats, now would you brew, because irrigation is no problem. Then, Nianinis, Essas, Ebana, and Cabruno Pesano, you won't cross 4 from National, and Baba Kang, Bruno, you say, what we saw though, at the end of, you know, was when you bear 250,000. So let's give him 100,000 in advance. What are you doing? You're actually empowering people to go to agriculture. But let's come back to your question on Abusamana. I'm just saying the president is smart because these are, look at the terms, launch, this, that.
Establish, commence.
These are words. It just really seriously doesn't mean anything. What it means really, however, is that your sequence right there. Yeah. And now we will question say, Faswa now say,
no academic fee policy. Also, why achieve, why complete. What are we university? What charge? We are provost.
Yeah.
There's no academic fee policy for all first year students.
Yeah.
For tertiary institution, Prof. Has it been delivered? Has it been completed?
As far as I'm concerned, I've not seen it being delivered. You
haven't seen it being delivered?
Yeah, I will be a hypocrite. I would discuss my finance officers. I'm a lecturer. I'm not part of the management of these fiscal policies of the university. I think it will help our show very much if you could even get GTech to confirm this. And because we have spokespersons, or one of the universities, you know, although I believe that BBI and politics, a certain university will be reluctant to even speak to it.
Okay.
So, but the whole point is that now you say some first years in Iberia. As far where I say,
but first years, someone buy and they can't budget.
Yes, but you say
you admitted them before. Yeah, budget.
The government is smart, but the crew will say, yes. Also, now none say, answer now, crowd the new school.
Right.
And into still out with you. To data boost, I say, Kaba, data university data. Every university has the number of first years he has got.
Yeah.
In fact, you don't need a second verification. So you call the vice chancellor of KN University. How many students? 8,000. Then times what? A basic no appear.
But you say your budget, there was no money to spend.
Again, that is why I'm telling you the intelligence, the smartness of the. Of course, me wasn't going to buy a crop church. I said, ban crown knew the Uba baby. And to me, honestly, if they want to be honest, Ghanaians, that's where they should start from there. Yes, we made that promise. And I thought that who call a cross my coming. What kind of crowns or no money people say you are being honest. Yes, I buy a share. But we didn't know. So we are here by a school feeding program. So I can be now. You could treat you easy. Into this year, you to me, maybe because Matthew said, okay, Matthew Parker, the deputy minister, I can say, what they will probably do is, since they could not pay for the first year, when they are going to second year, they would rather take care because it will be basically the same basic salary and basic fee. So they would rather pay second year so that they don't have to reimburse. But before that, now I talk about reimbursement. To you and me, maybe I'm from where I said, I see incoherences.
There's confusion, eh?
Well, I wouldn't call it confusion because as
they're inconsistent
but it's
with the rollout of the policy.
Yes, but it is inconsistent because the president was clear. Or the policy was clear.
Well, it's clear.
We will pay first year.
Yeah, that's the policy.
For one or two reasons, first years were there before you came. America said the honest thing to do is to just say, because you buy an that's all. This is what we plan to do. What they plan to do has come, but with two different.
But is there a communication to the university? Say there,
again.
No, I can't. But is there any communication to the university?
Again, first of all, let me tell you that so Kaya, I was one of who said I'm also against this policy. If you Kaya, yes, and the university should not be. I think a government should provide an enabling environment for people to attract loans to go to university, rather than to be paying.
Okay.
Sorry, na sebi. SSS and then as if we were calling money You see. You don't just implement it, and that has been the problem of Africa, especially in Ghana. Give to the people to show you care, and so that the next elections they vote
for you.
For me, that is pathetic. It is also conscientizing people to say that they are always in need. They are always in need, and people telling you that what about what about that one?
Okay.
So, in a very serious jurisdictions, minimum phobia, I'm calling US, MBA. They became citizens, so they use loan system to be Obama Ghana. We see them that their loans of the MBA they did. I have can mention some.
Okay.
A friend of mine, I don't think he would mind me telling you. No, but what about Ghana? I want you to do my oil. Oh, loan now, and I'm sorry. Na yere ne paper cover adunti no onyan dey otia na no dey otia otua because America say economy na na say na yere ne man da so te when tria you bet chef from mortgage.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is that can we design a system where the autumn be dieba ajo am akwa ba te church man for autumn dokro ye nyina be tuna ko loan to say about me and again I should perhaps commend I said a loan here there without without guarantees.
Okay.
As long as you are able to indicate that you are Ghanaian and you have an admission letter, because of what the government has put in place, you are qualified for what? A loan. And to me, first of all, this policy, I
see.
But to tell you the truth, me no money doesn't just me say I don't know say chinchina so amoye sika duwa untumire yensom ya say dey
it say almost sebo but I want to me onka say want to me
maybe I'm feel say the man who say Ghana no so sebo na so ka so be answer that we catch say the problem I want to say ya ka say be and so na na be am to mu say hochiro and you say utwa to be kata wa front. Right. But I say they will find a way of doing it. But Ghanaians should understand that it's going to cost us.
I see.
It is a car. And that make car SSS Madame to Canada. I mean, say, Sikana mu prof, so man try SSS and I'm one cranker. Sikana mu beche. You see, what will reason? People reasoning. The reasoning.
So let me take you to the issue of the taxes because of the economists. And Jomama himself also said that a buying papa naba and all the share to claim and a massive nuclear one in Ejina. So if not for anything at all, the CD has demonstrated, I say, the first 120 days of born home. With the Mammy Bisa we CD then they seem to Masidi no like relatives and what they know. Do you know? I said my question. Do you know?
Kwesi, near Mammy, you pay.
Okay.
The first one here, sir, the gold board no.
Okay.
Say initially no be at me to gold cotton. It says can be then aban. So they say me cotton individually me dollars egumi boto. And number 2, so yeah, the inability of the government to spend more. To say abino and spending more. So they say a boa masidi no inya hode.
On spending more, but how is that?
Your expenditure be or honoma. Say wakati.
Okay.
So they say the wakati katini nyina no enanchen. Your a kabi or also ukiutia. Say saka no. Utimi negotiate na o defer payment o defer payment to the next, let's say, quarter. Automatically the government is not spending. The unspending no ema sika eba binding say man to the or the head also the year it or the also the year no. Now on pursue for other money somewhere in the form of borrowing. And 2, what I've seen is now the Bank of Ghana is independent. Now, as I'm speaking,
very important.
They are very independent.
I see.
The Bank of Ghana is not under the control of the what?
Or the
government.
presidency.
So I'm beginning to like Dr. Siama. And from Nkomo Amedino, HSA, we're straightforward. Okasi A, Okasi B. Because onoso so no ne dache ehun asem hu hia no eti or protecting integrity.
I see.
What do you say? Because all the time say ye finance bibi na yako Bank of Ghana na Bank of Ghana bem 1-2 Bank of Ghana 1-2 Bank of Ghana printing of currency and so on no. What do you say now? Ye deplete Bank of Ghana reserves no ni nyina no a problem.
Okay. And I said
a problem ema confidence ema usika nimu.
Okay.
So that's it. If then when people lose confidence in your money, that is where the money depreciates.
Nti me was say ne cost you there dey asin the besa cost you because dey be try yeka.
No, I can't yeah, you
because I think it from next year 2026.
They will pay. They will pay, but before they have been able to accumulate.
It's a long-term appreciation of the city.
No,
a very short-term a very higher.
A very short-term.
Okay.
A very short time. That's why in economics we say all things being equal.
All things being equal.
So if all things being equal, it means the debt that they have deferred, we are going to work towards it. It will work towards it, ube accrue funds. So they say, it will be by the time what defer Bruno, a bit Bruno one yes then you pay it. It will pay. It doesn't bring you down. And my own conform.
Okay.
Send me the oka. And I'm so crazy. This year, mean to me, Fako January, mommy. It means I'm working towards Sikano. Which but one mommy one here have me. Say academic training boomwa 10 series. Say no. Minya 10 series, me the 2 series better. Then me the 8 series so I invest. Net income. Abreme. Tisana Akua Asieduaa. Eti sidi ni de se nyame boa na se Bank of Ghana governor ene na adwuma efo no mu gina mu na so no mu ye pintin se de o ma ye dia. Then I think say sidi no will be a Fako market because the projection is that from now to May ending, if you don't take care, it will come to 9 cities.
That's the projection.
That's the projection.
And inflation will come to somewhere around 12 by the end of the year.
You need to
be
very careful.
Predicting. And the inflation is 21%.
Yeah.
And we check books in let's say by the end of the year, they are hoping say about 12%.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's possible, but that's way too ambitious target to make.
Because the reason why it is possible is that the inflation and the exchange rate, they work hand in hand.
Right.
So they are saying, It is a exchange rate day back from na inflation jina de jina. Let's just say artificial.
Okay.
Artificial one was sika wo baby.
The big system.
The big system no. So that one to in the economics you look at the money supply and then demand for money.
Okay.
All these things must play. And at the interplay of the demand for money and the money supply will determine the equilibrium.
Okay. Yeah, boxes in the game. So, I said 90 days, you know, obey 11 few. However, COVID-19 levy, no, and that's all. But 10% levy on bet in a way. We know better say, why TV? Because I one pack. Why TV and also why TV?
Kwesi, why TV because
COVID-19
and I maybe COVID-19, no, there is a clause.
But across
all the other three, no.
But across it.
Mahama,
one for cross and sha. Not that die.
Any, and yeah, ada.
Me too.
I say when you are outside governance, you can say whatever you want to say. But when you get into it, that is where you see the realities of it. I say, and near my guarantee, IMF no. I don't know whether na omunya aware of it because even at all, he live in name way, you know. What they say, IMF buy, you know, they have to let them know, say, you way more. Name me the way to be there. About show.
Away for no extractive industry for no percentage
increase, you know. So they say, it was a COVID levy no. Don't forget, say COVID levy no. I am in the form of the consumption tax. I say VAT, you know.
Yeah.
Oh baby,
tied to the VAT.
What do I say? Oh baby, and the way it is generating income, I don't think they can meet me at the IMF. Emran so.
Okay.
I come to me so because what you o cost of bia na to ade sesi a wo bon say e was so o
time o hwe we now it's is the amount now
so abaya consumption tax
also
and taking away consumption tax massa enye easy
it don't feel inferior
so bet me here free wa unless o free IMF market on the wall
really
I'm telling you the truth
or rename it
yeah it be a rename it
it's no one to me COVID-19 inferior
Kwesi I didn't buy a
clear case of scam.
Any scam.
Because if so,
any scam.
Now the shame say we you know within 120 days. Then I would say you know finance minister na set up no man who say ade we ni bedding.
Dabi na omoya you know a friend say IMF deal no were they part of it?
They were not part of it.
They were not part of it. So we can excuse them.
I see.
We can excuse them.
I see.
Kwesi IMF no enema efiafia ho no ya da yenkam asemo wo ka se de o magana fo ye basisi wo mo enema bi efiafia ho a ha adwene oh entina ya na ye ka se ye kwa IMF a no credit as an economist I've never agreed to it na ye kwa de from 1983 or so ya structure adjustment program eti ye ne etumi se ne mayi nyansa na nyame di ma abrofo no ye ni bia na a be hye ye ne maye o man ye timu since I was born up to today there be a expenditure and also say revenue
you can't even break even
you go for no hefa
you can't even break
so as a matter of fact the government expenditure that is where aban bia wa ba bia ye nyina no ye yire no yire kete na o cut expenditure because the expenditure no e cut even by 5% cry it will help the nation.
Okay, it's a 24-hour economy which was the pivot of the campaign like a banana ye hwe nim say mbemu ni nyadwuma ye say 133 one job 3 shifts 3 person. You should know. Another scam.
Yeah, a hormone. One thing, Mama President about out view or when they say, sir, 24-hour economy no. as at now, and you're clear.
Oh, sir.
As at now, to me, and you're clear, mommy. The end you're clear, mommy, they say, is it going to be done in the existing jobs? And now are they going to create new jobs? And then we do the 21-hour economy.
Well, existing ones now.
So existing ones, they are
private sector too.
Yeah, existing ones, they are. And by now, no. Also, they have put something in place. They are a pilot. Or two, they are sectors. They are a pilot. Because 120 days in a 4 months. Oh, can it 4 months? 4 months. It is a major.
3 or 4 months.
And I say, flashy program there. Also, can you pilot baby? Because there's some time ago, me say foreign affairs. Omukase umbe sa.
Yeah.
Sa 3 shift, you know.
Yeah.
And make a foreign affairs as a media. Maminka assembly kakrab. Enra me call passport office premium.
There was here.
There was here. Yeah. Na. Senior prof say what you will be see na woman be buy. Opening minimum. I'm saying over here, no say yeah me show Oyerepa TV. So it tells you so Oyerepa TV actually. Now my main guys be omo boy adwuma big time. Ni me omo come omo di man piki omo di. Ni so na deputy manager ho. Okay. Excellent. Okay. Mafu and a Joe and a SK nipa 4 na meti omo di. But to the entire staff over there, the premium no. Oh, Charlie, fantastic. They are working. Etika me especially okuja to abrakwa e can say foreign affairs. Because we share premium okra na no nipa na wo ho no ma. It tells you say Ghanaians need passport. Ghanaians need passport. Etika also by this time okuja to wa pilot sa
24-hour economy.
24-hour economy no.
But if there are no policy direction in place, they can't pilot it.
No. Listen. You can't put something of this nature. You can't put something of this nature in your manifesto and tell me you don't have policies in place. So then
direction.
No, the policy direction. Policy and direction move together. Policy and direction they move together. They are delaying us. They are delaying us.
There's no money for it now.
That's it.
There's no money for it.
I didn't make a say. I say to the politicians, to the money are coming out to say maybe a bad yam buying. But truthfully, 24 hours will be catch up say unachievable. It's achievable.
Okay.
But you see and got here I have and I got your dream. When they came in, and maybe who take the around the be working crack na container no money. She say we are so minor and do baby and says every you can see come up say collateral crime we see in your bill. I'm say demand the 40% because anyone know time crack. And it is so big na say also be 24-hour economy which needs money. See, I'm pretty make I say. But from what I see, where I sit,
you think that there's no money for
the because they don't have the required even capital to start it.
But capital, I don't
would. You see, now we can more the foreign affairs.
Exactly.
So, nipa 4 with the 4 kokan it's a budget.
Yeah, of course.
It's
so chomuka.
Yeah,
so chomuka. Right.
And from where we are now, common labor laws, wouldn't be more be worse off. To get all the 4 account into about 5,000 over 3,500. And so you can only increase. And I always go back to the agriculture. Minister Mokanya Omonyen. Because we know, say, Sadian, Udisika Tumusika Bebentino. They can afford to start the 24-hour economy. Because you see, preparing the land to be given to people to start a market work.
Yeah.
So I think we could have started from there.
From that Greek sector?
Yes.
Okay.
And also, so no, even know, getting the returns seems to be a short time. Recently, I'm going to pay your young Boris B. Doing a fantastic job, I'm telling you. So, Papa, we here bear 500 billion. Just say, young family, young pet supervisors, near them one on a nipple between at 2 or more. I started 24 economy. Now, I can COVID-19 consumer
taxi.
Why? You see, I didn't mean influence. Internally, we've not been able to even be food sufficient, isn't it? So, for the next 1 year, we'll be importing rice. But she has started in year. We can afford to do away with COVID-19 because, like you said, it's a consumer tax. At the end we produce import. Why do we really change now? But I'm just trying to say, when we are sufficient enough. And we try to discourage people. I've always supported it. Me would you episode no mercy. Now and one person you say it on the but there's you turn 100 US. We drew up a 300 account. Palm wine for the solution here you You see, what I'm trying to say is that conscientizing people about what we have is not enough, but letting people know that what you have conscientized them to have is available. Okay. So I see your money Ghana more. And I Ghana more so baby and that when you be so I don't want to say they have from China. So what are you talking about?
I see.
And my main Fabi being so Adia Bakwa me yapa ASI your poultry and livestock industry. The way we are managing it. Yeah. Could you believe say from Jan of Legon? Say or no ye bibi or break poultry farm. Over 100,000 birds at a go.
Look at that too.
100,000 birds at a go. A buying a sober nasne. We don't know. Say a buy back on the coin a buy we buy no. And then no more your phone. And Kwesi say Mudia ya motifako. Yede ya nante. Say offer Dr. Mensa area o. Ebesi KU. And now share poultry and livestock are omoto free coastal. Now okwa asaf marketer. Orebeho. So why are we and the we are say beka say dollar ne kosoro amasidi abafo.
But you hold on for me briefly now. But my come on anti-corruption campaign ending come wherever it is Azim producer friend because hello hello Mr. Azim.
Hello.
Yes sir, please can you hear me? Hello, Mr. Azim, can you hear me?
Hello.
Yeah, but what's in the
There's too much noise from your end.
Oh, is it okay now? Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Okay, okay. Can you hear me now? Is it better?
Yes.
It's better. Great. The 120-day social contract by the president, he talks about the code of conduct, which has been launched. But however, there are concerns about 2 vehicles gifted to him, which some have argued that it breaches the code of conduct which was launched. What's your position on the matter, sir?
I haven't got you correct.
So what I'm saying is that the 120 social day contract with the people of Ghana by John Mahama, For you, with a launch of code of conduct, is it going to cure the issue of bribery, conflict of interest, and all that? Do you foresee that?
There's a problem with the network. Maybe you have to call them back.
Okay, but yes, I'm friendly with them on Timinka. Mama, is I'm friendly with I'm on Timinka. Doc, but now cap.
Did I make us say the profocano, Nina food sufficiency?
Right.
Say, Nyamiya Yadomnaya woon in Miania. Timmy Eric Opoku. Minim say we will be our peduma. But Mr. No, the Casano or Casano or vetting aseno. O manin koda.
Onye Juma.
O manin Juma. And the criticism, sir, o make ye was no opposition, no. Mr. No, o manin Juma. Because, say, yes, it's a penny, a gary and insuasa. Say, the person you are the we are. They be any hobby. Because maybe to Kumasiano and Ram Suma will be say 2 days ago, say, on to Kenkim Remy. Kumasiano will Kenke 7 cities. Dokono and Kradokono 7 cities.
7 cities.
7 cities.
Oh, Kumasi.
Oh, Kumasi. Now, fish 15 cities or the Bremen, no. A half Netuna ye channel, 15 cities. So imagine, say, any person bet me afford it, said Yanno.
And it's because initially I was surprised when and I go through the 120 days social conduct, not a quick encounter.
Yeah. No, I can count and a profocase. Profocase, we're smart. We're very smart. We got hold with the best posing in them.
Okay. But you see, it's like Mr. Matazim, the Nayan say, we're be here. Mr. Matazim, but what's a make yeah. Hello?
Hello.
Me pacho, what's a menka is yeah,
No, I'm sorry.
You still can't hear me?
I can hear you, but there's too much noise. It's not clear.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Pacho. All right, since you can't hear me, you can't be going back and forth too. Pacho, thank you very much for your time. Maybe if you for better try now, actually say going forward, no, we'll rectify whatever is happening. Technical team will help us to rectify whatever is happening. Because I say on Temenka, because on Temenka, now what I can maybe because my back code of conduct, they launch here, and you can take it. So I launch it because I want to
launch.
Launching, but so Busa question had to write it as I don't think that alone can cure corruption.
So what be boom down so count yourself out the smith of my government.
No doubt about that. I mean, you see, when we have been fortunate to have people like Rajon Mahama, who can come to MPP like Baumia, you can almost vouch for their honesty. Okay. When they speak, you could see somewhere, you can feel some warmth in it. Even if you give him the opportunity, maybe he will do exactly what he means. But the thing is, you only sack people you see, isn't it?
Yeah. It's the way one.
Well, now, how do you sack them?
I see.
And I made we are actually heading towards a failure, and they say, when you have a gift of 20,000, you should declare. And this is a government better than 20 million. Now, if that could mind and no corruption. You see, basically, we don't want that. Yesterday, you hold the problem by the horn. You hold the bull by the horn. We are not able to do it. What about saying, everything? Again, why don't we digitize everything to such an extent that no minister, we can say, you can't even spend without using a certain bank card that government in the amount.
Yeah.
So every expenses you make is traced.
Yeah.
Every money that comes to your account is traced. Seven minutes you said the paper back here, the original court was say on the year baby shop. me you know a bank account no be bremu join them to because if I could jam my wife there. How do you get me for corruption?
I see.
I think it is so porous. I mean, it's beautiful. You see, it's a framework nicely typed.
Well, that means the first president of which makes idea way. Oh, Ghana.
Maybe.
And
it's beautiful. So don't doubt about that. It's excellent. But the thing is, maybe the reason why it is the first time of seeing this is because previous government have known that it was useless.
I see.
Maybe. I'm just thinking.
Yeah, maybe.
Because seriously, oh yeah. In fact, the increasing boss actually is supposed to impose some kind of fear into people. But whilst we were reading it, we got to know some group we cry. You can't accountant general and for
declare assets.
So that tells you that even the people there, in authority, some of them, the lackadaisical attitude. And I was worried when the president said we should only deduct. I was expecting the sacking right from there. Right from the podium, if the president has said, for failing to heed to my command, you go and hand over to your deputy.
Oh, they say among window of opportunity.
What is window of opportunity?
Next time, no.
What is window of opportunity?
I mean,
there are some people who have given them windows of opportunities and they actually use it to even harm other people. Okay, one bebleka, Yakwabia, or do Sikadibika, or Copacha, the chair, no, Mom Fan channel. Osikadini call restaurant, Biakopi, why yere, another servant, on Oyerepa. Is this the second window we are talking about?
Now, what can I say? My doctor. What can I say? John and them, yes, we British code of conduct because I mentioned a cast me, and I can say as a sign of goodwill, I can reject it outright because still now it puts him in the court of interest.
No. I don't support them. You know, if I heard it, and I'm saying, me heard them say, the politicians, some years who say, check, Obi, Metuhui, say. I am minister. I don't know. I should reject it.
Oh, of course.
No. If I would change your mind, I say you should reject it. I say you should have an explicit what?
Approval.
Yeah. That will say there is a window, you can accept it. He as a president, he can accept. Or who say if he keeps it and I believe if you want the card of chair president, they very well know he does not need it.
Yeah.
That is the point.
Also no, because there's also
the primary interest of some of these people.
Me too.
Their primary interest is marketing.
Yeah.
Not buying the president. Are you, Parker? I hope.
No, I'm following you, Pa.
The primary interest of some of these companies. Maybe details, but from where I sit, I don't say 2 Chinese companies. They are selling cars.
Yeah, assembling.
For me, it is more of advertising than trying to get the. In any case, not to disrespect the presidency. And then the president know our Chinese government in it.
To seek some favors in the future.
Like what?
Tax waivers. Or the number be back. You be tax waivers.
John Mahama does not give tax waivers.
Yeah. That's how we catch a parliament.
There are systems.
There's always majority of parliament.
You're from the micro, let's be serious.
I see.
Can't yet say, and I demand or that shit would. In any case, you cry. Let's be serious. The whole point is this. Who said, I see a Franco government order.
A pool.
What maybe that office of America say, I don't know, just the day or the day of the launch of the. But I don't cry, yeah, going to get a guys or person significant. Or person just say, the why he said, now should be to me. Be honest, be open, be transparent. Yes, you will receive gifts. About when I say, the right of America going forward. Christmas and everything. Minister be encourage clearance for anything. So I'm encourage clearance for a gift to be a man. I don't say they are doubling in corruption. Some people should go and tell them and say, I've also been given a car. Now then your clearance to take it. We should be hearing some of these things. Yes, I launch into as we be it is never true to be. Some of us will continue to shower them with petrol vouchers. But there are rules and guidelines. Let's follow. Maybe what I'm not happy about really is around it. How do we supervise this? It's what I'm saying. And you know, I'm buying the trial to me. I'm a minister. Card, and my credit card. This is the only card you use. Anytime you see, say, Packer, Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs, where you should any other card, I could talk you, you know, we should begin to investigate. Ask questions. In other words, we should put our ministers or public officials at their toes. No, Mungo, chief directors, chief
directors in
the beautiful artists. For me, where I said now, it is just a book.
And sorry problem, yeah. No, now
it's only just a book. Kwesi. Say you can't get us send a project home. And Kratasema, Ghana will be your baby. Ghana, you will be your baby for
loss.
Loss, when you watch your baby. But the problem is the implementation. Now, my name is Yonko Bidin Komo, Canada. And was a mayor of Alberta. Mayor. Now, Otu Kwai from Alberta to another place where the train neko. It is not train no ya prepare man no oko na sa train neko. Etu eja. And of fast second train the second train was more expensive than the first one. Train. Okoba ye no de kuri he it was the adwuma to resign honorably
when I was doing my PhD in Hong Kong, the finance minister Hong Kong na yira no family car man na company no go to car so 100 cities and so this is our finance minister just give it to 95 and Hong Kong community, the public got to do say, can I turn 100 million? I'm 95. Or resign.
Yeah. So
he was just obviously he's used the office to bargain to get a reduction.
But to show you a reduction.
But that is the influence of using your office at your own benefit.
Okay.
Now or you're so popular, say.
Wow.
Well acclaimed United Nations. And you know, the government found it very reluctant to finally demonstration there he resigned.
Demonstration.
I'm telling you, originally I'm trying to recollect it, but those that know it is between 1999 and 2003. Yes. He resigned. Actually, we are so powerful. Economists there, United Nations like fire has a consultant.
Wow.
Kwesi, enti asema making.
You know.
Asema making just last week. One of Opimso a correspondent or Vancouver.
Okay.
Wouldn't say to me mayor office. Any mayor could come mayor a salary then allowances. Yediatuga. So I had no Mayor Zuba. Can you go to Zuba's office? No, but and say be full crowd a week. ASA. Can we? So say eba and krata se mo anema ye church the good krata mu dia. Any Ghana here the best. But the way forward the implementation. E dey na ye implement it. So I say, fine, President show leadership by example. But leadership by example, no, it doesn't follow, say, all the times how do we have it. And President, the reason why I was show leadership by example, because of what happened in Mirebi.
Fourth
saga. So there be no because I catch you say, President Jomama, you will be our senior no waba. But I expect him say, and yet code of conduct, you know. Another you go school, you have a code of conduct.
Code of conduct.
Yeah, maybe senior. Esu ye kwali sui. Yes, Kelly wo.
I don't think I read my own book.
What do I say? Aha. Eye book e ka ho keke because eye part of the syllable. So that the pa no wo dia ma no. Waje. On friend na point is ni say on friend 10. No misa. So benya emu 4 a o makan a o munimu asem a.
Regulation 9.
Regulation. You see, eti enye say ye di gu krata so no. Ye fie gu krata no. Ene di ade papa beba. Name there should be checks and balances. So they say obi aba be CEO e wo enterprise bi. Ne allowance a week say. So they say how does the person draw his allowance? How does the person draws his pay? All these things, you know, also a itinerary that ho. Na you who say or no yamano ebia kada said the prof okay yamano kada or you were traces. Now people are making noise. Say somebody was taking 40,000 a week. Oh, it's just noise making.
Kofijua.
What does say?
I have the allowance. Number come as allowance. Allowance. Not besides how will they perform?
Perform what do you say? Sadia no must abide free ho and sana yaka. Wa buy here so no allowance say na wo a week. Wo ka obi dia no allowance say na wo so a week. One enim dia also wo sako fie. Obi enim. So it is a matter of fact. Any document that you be prepare no. I don't know ebo e ho ban. Name me kwa be fast wa you be implementing no. And na bo ban ho ban.
So the fact was so in all the 120 days in all Osha who return be return the same job.
Oh, as a matter of fact. In 120 days, you know, I can rate him around 7.5.
That is 75%. Is that an A?
Yeah, no, for UCC is B plus because maybe UCC.
Okay, B plus. Yeah, you're bad. B plus and you're bad. No, why are you? Yeah, Prof. I mean, my kid, I was still now my kid.
Oh, I'll rate him as much as he has rated himself.
David, no,
because you see, I've told you that first of all, the questions are not necessary. So it will be very. I mean, I feel unnatural about this. I mean, that I should even rate him. The obey my no I can. And perhaps his presentations, you know. Why the said the claim, said the okay, you know. But I didn't catch on the terms that have been used in the document. Launch about establish this, which are all true. So no, now also mean greedy grammar there. I would, but tangibly, I'm unable to. I just want to say that whatever they set out to do, pay her pronouncements, they are on course.
They are on course. Okay.
As to the effect on our lives.
Exactly.
Presently, I can say that since they came, those of us at the public service, I would say the last months, salaries have been paid. Different. I have not seen any difference. I'm person who say, I'm going to say inflation call for me. Young got to 7 cities. So supporters are there. Why property? The is
it 21? About 12.
No. We want to see dollar now. You see, they will 16. You see, I do 30. We want to reflecting on the Kenke. Kenke should come back to 5 cities and 3 cities. And that's why now my country say inflation has been reducing. It is not good enough. You see, again, that is what we were saying. Say authority to slower. Perhaps they should step down and come and see this. And perhaps find reasons why and go for that's where the concept. Sometimes some communities people should insist. Say that a boss of the concept crying to the way I mean, and I make a community wise. Say, no, the entire Ghana and the end, a record say, we are Pecasa, but the creditors of Bani Crane or to do knowing and the communications here, right? good. Underground, people beginning to pick pieces together. That's the living in the community. They will say inflation. I was a petroleum you buy for me the GPR to want to petrol. So somebody has spare parts. So, but of course, I'm saying government to me can't because government man to pass spare parts the day. So maybe the crew we can just find because until my course and now we catch them say school your club B the today to be kakra now boys will be the crew man in those 4 according to the lady he bought it for 20 cedis in those 4 these are what I was talking about say man you say when people are very satisfied especially the other ones they don't call for boom. And then China is able to call itself a democratic republic of what? China. Most of it, yes, democracy, but we need democracy. Why? Because you can't bring your card, say, or Trambas will free, or a food, and number $5 or $2 a pound of pork in China. One year the best one. In other words, I must see to say at least agrarian side, people are what satisfied. People food sufficiency. I
see.
And that is why people, the so-called strict democracy-centered nations, even like the US, have not been able to penetrate into their rules. Because I
see.
Intermediate man. Figures table.
You don't eat figures.
We have to feel it.
You say feeling on the ground.
You see a feeling.
It's a 120 days in John. My yard there. I will say Ghana for.
You see it to feel. I said the speaker could not. I could get here. Ubi nipa. When you nipa tell me, move soon to me catch her say. I'm past say there. Then I'm talking 7 6 about 5 and me make you.
And that's a question I'll be asking you this morning. Say 120 days. We know it was saying a queer mouth and then queer mouth. A born home thing. And I'm born home, but there's a question I'm just asking on Facebook now. That coming to maybe a phone line someone I join the conversation on the page. 0594 192409 0322497264. Ahmed Hussein say 99% is that he didn't pick up my causes. Oh, okay. Mami, hello, good morning.
The international journalist, Kwesi Parker Wilson.
Yes, we know so this year back over.
What problem dim do you know my wife what this year ben me that pa me nia na na pay chia mpanyum foi na ma wo mo ni yo chance o mo mobile program we say the anama kai me na na fia do wa kuntumre abomu baka anapay ma me ntia chama o de no kokura pia baby obi akoka nyame o yira no na chama usu bempa ye de ne ba wo yira yeso paka papa kakra kai wo be wi na sem no baby I wadi chi mu eye me de pata so kai say any to tell kai and I will be you out adi ensio bi a say tea out to kwase free or ade mra you on mono pata tani ma we me draw ya remix ma ya nan say ya na be onabu alikopoku manem te say koko aye 6 million ye kan na face so e be sra ye wura jo mama. So and the light bill and the corner your car still a water that be done. That back I know what now. Hey, now I never wait there and when you wake up about me.
Madasi, Mammy Corners on the pay. Prof. I said, good morning. Hello, good morning. Savina, I'm Kwesi, a good. God bless you. Yeah, hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Hello,
Midiani Kwakojo. Controversial man back up. Mammy Cham MC, our follow Krobo, Tio Papa. I know baby so pure follow Kromo, or Tio your friend of Bar and Fia Brina, or Bandisi, Tama, Vice Tama, Paga, or Sabin Chia Papa. Paga, 120 days, you know, you have a John Germain, Mama Basso.
Why you betting tax and renting the betting tax? What did you say? Chapagua, Quamu, and before the Yazoma be Biomumpe. Yes, sir, Omufampa went to Chinamra can Ghana any year in Ghana better than the
Mate.
What do I? Chicana, what you know.
Mate, Lena Sapon says it's been vigorous, vibrant, in fact, good would be an understatement. It's been super, unprecedented, plus all humanity. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Father.
Yes, sir. But you're my first and everything.
I am from Sujama, because I'm from Korea.
Great, Sujama, it's you.
After 120 days, you know, and coffee, and I'm to Abru, Yano, Baku 10 cities. Abru Bakupo, Yano, 10 cities. Oh, let's just say, Mama, or walk, and when we walk, and look at walk, walk back and say, oh, $10 man, church contractors, no one like her. Love her, the couple of us have our ministers in the pay. Only you play, can you? So
that's what I was making. Mate, medase Sojaman, medase. We see better than someone's 8-year rule, you Mate. Yeah, hello, good morning.
Fine morning.
We got you and everything.
But I'm a Casafi was here from me. Midiani Lotu.
Midiani Lotu.
Midiani Lotu.
But you're 8 Yo, 8
So, this year, I 120 days, you know.
Oh. I'm saying when Timmy engine so, fachami, when Timmy engine so. I'm going to say hello, good morning.
Morning, Paka Wilson.
So for my mini.
With them.
So for my full name, and they van saying. So my Midiana pay.
There's a vaga.
They too.
Papa, ever a Dubuani sense. Shabang to some appointment. Everything then. When to know what part to be electric one will be after I was the record to Supreme Court. After I want to enter some old Yakuyana with the board.
You, what's it? Your family, that's it. My goodness, Conuso. Yeah, hello, good morning. Yo, Paul Aquaba, it's you.
Mammy Tepu Van Concra, put him in penny, don't Zamani Mahama, or Voganus or Maya and Pimichana Pa. Me Pessia so fourth love, Asia Kenny, aka Obana. Elect MC, let Miss Jana be. Oh, the face said to go for one of that one at the Cateta. Your mum penny by ye when it was a first language I will remove. Once for that, I'm saying for the amount to me move. I felt a covenant intention. I'm covered by you. The ascent of covered by you. What's the media? Ye levy, betting tax. For first a covenant, meaning a message that in the way yes you walk. Ya can say, in Nano, you didn't pabba sanity. Ya can, when years obey Yamagana, yes, a heaven.
Okay.
This is your meat for your mother 90% why.
Mate, medasi. My corner's corner, so point well made. Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Me watch for and everything.
Friend Isaac, because I feel a shower.
Great. Isaac, your mama 120 days now. Who is saying?
Oh, that's funny, sir. Yara, but now I feel me now. I have an ambassador because I cry.
It's you.
Or money on penny foam. Or more. It's a panelist for no much to home Casano. Only in penny four, and I am Pala 80.
Oh. When Jimenjinaso. Okay. I'm in corner. So. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Yeah, good morning, sir. Hello. Maybe Joe, good morning. Me the boy part TV so.
Yeah.
There's a batch for and everything.
Every Kumasi.
Kumasi, great. Yet you.
I'm a program and I'm present contributing.
Maybe you're on the program yet you.
Francis nkasa kumateta.
Hello, good morning. But I'm afraid I'm going to more why. I'm going to more a bad delayed feedback. Much more a bad delayed feedback. Why? Yeah. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Yes, I'm about your voice and everything.
Because that's Francho.
Okay, it's you.
I'll pay a comedy me. My hammer on the
Oh. Yeah, Matty, you're the Messia. The 120 days in I'm come at the home. Okay. Okay, Africa Center for Security and Counter-Terrorism. Also send the statement. They are focusing more on ECG for containers na so what is doing 120 days no. Okay. Yate. It's in another pay we have established the no fee policy no. Again, a vehicles there no. Sa import no so be fee vehicles there no. And also so the 24-hour economy no. Whether the processes are ongoing or not, and so based on that, Doc actually says 7.5 there. It's fair. That is a 75%. Well, it's fair. Profs on rating, however. So 120 days in the camera there, it has to reflect in the lives of the people. A man for bottom na nkoyi. They be kinka born 7 cities and is there. Say to me, Baba 5 cities and 4 cities. That is what you want to see, the impact on the people and also on the ordinary Ghanaian. Remember, Prof. Nedok so shortly. Now, I'll pay another pay. Before I go, no, my main moment said, Sasso, open mosquito coil, and spray papa, a usudia, and a Sasso. But what I say, Ubenya be a bebo pa. Na Sasso no coil, and then the spray no, which are for a maunya kata, spray boa, we spray, and I say, call you are. What is you now when you kata de be way a mount ya katabia? A common tum no fast. I just say, because you meet got them, which may speak and what the mind your because only lemon scented biakawa, a ma and them who a yam. Now, it was for way every a year Samara company, Samara company, FDA, a year Food and Drugs Authority, and I approve it. From our pays up with 12 on 0246 864798. 0246 864798 and at 0501 454462 0501 454462 Sasso yase kumtontom preko doc you be call any final words na rapia number
Kwesi na final words ni begina edidi ho tomato asema na prof okay eni meku asemu a ayeye so asemu yi ni nyina na ye because of say Burkina for akate or more supply to Ghana. It as a matter of fact say agric minister Eriko Pokutia Oyache tomatoes ye minim say 4 months na enyini na yete meko 4 months na enyini na yete yesre no onfa aso embo form na de also ye bia no onye ntentem na ekomono ano ya yedin
a common ano ya yedin mamenko a year professor
yes no also you what can the name for the enchai I do as a hene nana nana echewa no pay nana my holidays in a first meal. Oh, what the while buy you granted to go. Nana try muna or heard the and just said Nana so Nazo. And then I mean, Susu Mamma. Oh,
and I gave Bonsafo.
And I see drive to and as a money and I want to turn among. Oh, Nana, Uncle.
Nana, that's it. Another problem for profit, and that's it. Yeah, I'm going.
Copa, Kwesi.
Nana minim nana over 20 years. Oh yeah. Otimi fa phone frame bi sam so tell me nka check me what to say. We ni pento bia o hwe. Ah yo. Oh anya different bia. Anya different kwa bia. Eh asem ni.
We ni mo na nim na.
What dan be busu ani sa na mpesa me kama.
Na me ken say.
Na so me prof hiri be si mu ya ya. So minim no dada, minim ni suban. Oh Kwesi na say ya nim bia. No prof kra say minim no almost 20 years. Minimum almost 20 years. And also, I was here for a pound. Negoma Saman Penny for a kind and some many so race course. And normal body drobeye 15 between 15 and 18 fingers a tear droswa 300 Ghana. And I made me cotton race course in Duadan. And yes, I'm getting a very bunch of full. Aye. Ucha trauma me and Sanasa. I was here for near a no. Ya warable lands wo nso so komo de yen ye ma ye ni nkoso na Greek no ye ni hu nkomo na ye mpa bibi mfa nyenye sa ekombe de ahiafo ye de mu si ya nyame ya do no de ye nkwachen ya ekina efiada ye de de twato kra e de ba besom na wotwe mu me din de Akua Asieduaa mini abema
Kwesi Parker Wilson. My guest this morning has been Prof Charles Maffo and Dr. Eric Bimpon. And we had much now the December with another edition of OBT. Good morning.